Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to be comparing the Huawei Mate 20 Pro on my left and the Honor Magic 2 on my right. So the reason I'm comparing the two, it's because both of these phones came out very recently. They came out in the same month and they are from essentially the same company. Honor, it's a part of Huawei. So despite the major difference in price tag, the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, the cheapest configuration starts at 1,100 US dollars. That's about 1,000 euro. Although in Hong Kong, you can find it a little cheaper. In Hong Kong, you can get it for about 900 US dollars right now. The Honor Magic 2, on the other hand, is just a lot cheaper. The base configuration starts at 547 US dollars. So we're talking about like a $400, almost $500 difference between the two phones. But despite that, there's actually a lot of similarities. So first of all, both of these screens are 6.4-inch OLED displays. They both look beautiful, and both phones have an under-display fingerprint reader, and they are virtually the same fingerprint reader. They're both quite fast. They both work pretty well in my opinion. And they both run on the same chipset. That's Kirin 980. That's Huawei's newest chipset, 7nm technology. So right now, in all of mobile technology, only Apple and Huawei has a 7nm chipset out. So that means if you get one of these two phones, you're in a very exclusive club, the 7nm club. The only other people in it are people with iPhone XS, iPhone XS Max. So since they run on the exact same chipset, day-to-day performance, I'm talking about basic phone use, is exactly the same, just about. Even when you run Geekbench on both phones, the score are very, very similar. And jumping between apps, you get the exact same experience. You're not going to get a lag on one phone that you don't get on the other. In fact, both phones have the exact same bug with Zynga Poker. So for some reason, Zynga Poker cannot run in Kirin 980. It makes this really funky, janky noise. That's not how it's supposed to sound. This is like a crazy, this is a bug with, I'm assuming Kirin 980 because the game cannot run on either phone. See, like broken sound. So both of these phones have the exact same bugs and the exact same strength. They both run virtually the same software. You're talking about Android 9.0 with EMUI 9 on top. Now, the EMUI in these two phones are a little bit different. That's because for my Huawei Mate 20 Pro, I have a global ROM edition. So this is the version of the phone that's released to Europeans, and it comes with Google pre-installed. This phone, the Honor Magic 2, it's a China ROM. It's a China version. So that means there's no Google apps inside. You have to download it yourself. And then on top of that, because it's China ROM, it will not let you install a third-party launcher. So on the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, I can run Nova Launcher perfectly fine if I want. I can go into default and set the launcher to Nova Launcher if I want, but I'm not going to do that right now. On the Honor Magic 2, unfortunately, if I try to set a default launcher, it does not let you. That option is just not there. So that means there's no way to use Nova Launcher. You're stuck with EMUI. And also, Huawei software gives you a night mode or dark mode that allows you to turn the interface black. So I think that's pretty nice, especially when you have an OLED panel. On the Honor Magic 2, you don't have that option. You can only use the software in the standard all-white version. So I am a big fan of night mode, obviously. So I'm a big fan of the darker navigation. I just think it looks a little bit more pleasing on the eye, and it saves battery. And both of these phones support 40-watt fast charging. So, and a charging brick comes with the box, you know, not like Apple. So that means you can top up the phone very, very fast. So that's about it for the similarities. Now let's talk about the difference. So obviously the first thing you notice is the Huawei Mate 20 Pro has a notch. Honor Magic 2 does not have a notch. So the reason the Magic 2 is able to do it with a notch is because it has a slider design. So all the selfie cameras is in the back behind this panel. I really like this design. I think it looks really nice. Now, I am one of those people that when I use a phone with a notch, I don't mind it that much. When I use the iPhone XS Max, or when I use my LG V40, or when I use this phone, I'm not like, oh, I hate this notch, it gets on my nerves so much. But I'll admit, when I do jump back to a phone without a notch, like an Oppo Find X or Honor Magic 2, I am reminded, oh, it is a little bit more immersive when you don't have a notch. Especially, look at all the app icons. When you get a notification, the icons fill all the way up on top across the bar. On the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, the icons can only go up to here. It's very cramped. And then obviously when you go into websites, it's just a little bit, and then things like looking through websites and watching full screen videos on Instagram stories is just a lot more immersive on the Honor Magic 2 than on the Huawei Mate 20 Pro. So now of course the only reason the Huawei Mate 20 Pro has a notch this big is because this phone has real 3D face unlock. So this is the same face unlock that Apple introduced with the iPhone 10. It shoots like all these dots to your face to map your face, so it's a more secure unlock. The Honor Magic 2 also has face unlock, but it is a more generic flat 2D version. So to trigger it, you just have to slide down the screen. I'm gonna lean over to look at the screen. Just like that, slide down, look at it, and it unlocks. So it's very fast, but it's also not super secure because it is a 2D face unlock. Now the Huawei Mate 20 Pro face unlock, it's a lot more secure, but unfortunately it is not as smart as the iPhone 10 and iPhone XS's face scanning, because Apple's phone can actually learn your changing appearances and adapt to you. So whether you're wearing sunglasses or wearing a hat, it should still work. But the Huawei Mate 20 Pro's face unlock is not that smart. So what happened to me yesterday was I shaved, and then after I shaved, it would not unlock for me. It did not recognize my face. I had to re-register my face. And I'm not the only one that suffered this problem. If you go online and search for Huawei Mate 20 Pro face unlock, you will see several other people with the same issues. You have people with really thick beards saying the Huawei Mate 20 Pro just cannot recognize his face, or they've been saying that people with similar face shape has been able to trick the Huawei Mate 20 Pro's face unlock. And for me personally, I've been using this phone for 2-3 weeks. I had to rescan my face 2 times because both times I shaved and it did not recognize me. So I don't know who to give the win here, because this face unlock has not need me to re-register. It works all the time, but this is also not that secure. This is a 2D unlock. This is a real face unlock, but at the same time, every other week I have to rescan, re-register my face. So otherwise, both of these are 6.4-inch displays, but the Huawei Mate 20 Pro has a curved display just like the Samsung Galaxy phones, and I think it looks really damn good, especially when you're swiping through photos or stories. I really like how it looks like the images are sliding off the screen. Like that is just so appealing to me. It looks very damn cool, especially when you're lying it flat on the desk and you look at it from the side. Just think it looks really awesome. Now the Honor Magic 2 does not have a curved screen. It's completely flat, so it loses some of that visual appeal, but in return, this phone's a lot easier to grip because the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, the front and the back curves to the side like this. So sometimes when you hold on to the phone too much, I find that it digs into my corner. And then also, palm rejection, it's a real issue. So a lot of times when I'm using the phone while lying in bed and I'm holding the phone over my head like that, I'll find that the fatty part on my palm will touch the screen and I can't register my touches because it is touching the screen. That never happens with the Honor Magic 2 because it is a flat display. So flat display doesn't look as cool, it doesn't look as sexy, but at the same time, it's a lot more usable. And even though this phone has a sliding mechanism, I actually think this phone feels a little bit sturdy and it's a little bit more like grippier. So check this out. I'm not even grabbing the phone right now. I'm just letting it stick to my fingers and it's somewhat staying to my hand. It's moving down very slowly because this back, it's very grippy. On the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, that is not the case. The phone is a little bit slippier. So watch, I'm gonna not grip and you see it's sliding down a little bit faster now, just a little bit. And it's kind of in danger of falling now, like any time. And I just think if I were to drop these phones, the Honor Magic 2 is more likely to survive a drop because the screen, it's not curved. So if I drop the phone flat on its edge, I think this phone will have a higher chance of surviving than if the Huawei Mate 20 Pro drops this on its edge. Both of these displays are very nice to look at. They're both brilliant, but the Huawei Mate 20 Pro has a higher density display. So this is a Quad HD panel, 1440 by 3120 resolution. That's a PPI, pixel per inch of 538. On the Honor Magic 2, the panel is 1080 by 2340. That's a PPI of 403. So in theory, the Honor Magic 2 is a more sharp, more crisp display. But to be honest, I think 99.9% of people won't be able to tell the difference. So now in terms of speakers, both of these phones have bottom-firing speakers and sound coming from the top, but the Huawei Mate 20 Pro has a better earpiece speaker. So we'll show you really quick. So if you cover the bottom, you can muffle it quite bad. Now, on the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, see, I can cover the speaker grill and you still have sound coming from here. So now in terms of battery, the Huawei Mate 20 Pro has a larger battery, 4,200 mAh versus the 3,500 mAh on the Honor Magic 2. Now I have some viewers that have expressed concerns with the battery on the Honor Magic 2. I'm saying you don't have to worry. Battery life, it's great on both phones. Now obviously battery life is a little better on the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, but the Honor Magic 2 is still good enough to go an entire day. I've been using this phone as my daily driver for about 5 days, and I got over 6 hours of screen on time every single day. So to me personally, as long as a phone can last me an entire day without dying, that's good enough. So the fact that, yeah, true, if I run both of these phones at the same time, this will last an extra 5-6 hours. It doesn't matter to me, because at the end of the day, both of these phones can go an entire day. So finally, we will talk about the differences between these two phones that actually matter, because to me, all the other stuff I mentioned earlier, the slightly bigger battery, the more crisper display that kind of you can't see with the naked eye anyway, all those things kind of only matter to tech geeks. It doesn't matter to the average Joe. If I give my mom or my girlfriend or like my friend back in LA like both phones, they're not going to be like, oh yeah, this display is crisp, more pixel dense than this one. They're not going to be able to tell a difference. So the biggest difference between these two phones are in the camera system. Now both phones have triple camera layout, and they are very similar. They both have a standard lens and a wide angle lens, but the Huawei Mate 20 Pro system is just better. It's a little bit better optimized. I think it has slightly better hardware too. So we'll run down the specs really quick. So the main camera on the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, it's a 40 megapixel RGB lens with an f1.8 aperture. Now 40 megapixel, the point is not to take a super large photo that's 40 megapixel, but the point is for Huawei to use pixel binning to take a 10 megapixel photo, but with 4 pixels combined into one for more lighting information. The main lens on the Honor Magic 2 is just a 16 megapixel standard lens. So that's no slouch of its own, but it's no 40 megapixel. Now on the wide angle lens, same thing. The wide angle lens here, it's a 20 megapixel f2.2 lens. On the Honor Magic 2, it's a 16 megapixel f2.2. And also the micron pixel size is bigger on the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, so you're just gonna pull in more light and image information overall. Now finally, the third camera on the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, it's a 8 megapixel telephoto lens. But the fact that you have a dedicated telephoto lens means you can get 3 times lossless zoom. On the Honor Magic 2, the third lens, it's a monochrome sensor. That really doesn't do anything other than help with lighting information a little bit and to help you take a better black and white photo. But that means when you zoom in on the Honor Magic 2, it is a digital zoom. It is not a lossless zoom. So now having said all that, if you are taking photos in good daylight and you're just taking photos to post on social media, both images are going to be very similar. So you look at both these shots, very similar. They both look very nice. This is a very easy photo to take. It's good lighting. Like, truth be told, even a $150 budget phone should be able to grab a nice shot. So where are you going to see a difference? The superiority of Huawei Mate 20 Pro, it only comes through when you're taking photos in challenging situations. So that's either low light or maybe with a backlight on you with tough dynamic range, or when you try to zoom in and take macro shots, all of that. So I'll show you an example right away. This is a zoom shot. So this is a 3 times lossless zoom on the Huawei Mate 20 Pro versus 3 times digital zoom on the Honor Magic 2. So the Huawei Mate 20 Pro's image is a little bit more detailed, but even then it's not that far ahead. You move to the guy, you'll see it's a little bit more blurry on the Honor Magic 2's image. That's because this is a digital crop. This is a lossless zoom. And then also if you go to a challenging lighting situation like this one with the sun shining directly at you, this is a backlit photo. This is a tough shot. So you notice the Huawei Mate 20 Pro still manages to get the sun a little bit. You can see the circular shape. On the Honor Magic 2, it's completely blown out. You can't see the sun at all. The sky is more blown out. And then you look at the area down below. On the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, you can still see some details. It's more brightly lit than the Honor Magic 2's image. The Honor Magic 2 is just, you lose a lot of details and it's just a darker shot. The shadows, see, it's very murky right here. Right here is still pretty clean. So this is a very challenging situation though. So the Honor Magic 2 still did pretty well, but this is where you see the difference. And also when you try to take macro shots, the Huawei Mate 20 Pro allows you to get really close into a subject. The Honor Magic 2 cannot get as close. So you look at, there's a little bit loss of details on the Honor Magic 2's image. Huawei Mate 20 Pro is just a little bit more crisp. And the color is slightly more accurate on the Huawei Mate 20 Pro too. It's a little bit blown out, it's a little bit washed out right here. This is a slightly more accurate color. Now we look at the wide angle lens, same thing. The wide angle lens, you look at this image, the sky is almost completely blown out. There's no details in the sky in the Honor Magic 2. just completely white. On the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, at least you see a little bit of the clouds, some semblance of the clouds. And you look at the plants right here, it's a little bit more detailed in the Huawei Mate 20 Pro's image compared to the Honor Magic 2 right here. It's very blurry. But considering that, this is still a very strong wide-angle image. But that's where the extra megapixel comes in. Now you look at low light situation. So I took this in my living room with all the lights off, so it's very dark. Honor Magic 2's image noticeably darker than the Huawei Mate 20 Pro. So this is not even a contest. Now both of these are shot on auto. Now the next shot I used night mode, and you see the Honor Magic 2 turns out a lot better, but still the Huawei Mate 20 Pro still wins. You see, look at how soft the image is on the Honor Magic 2 compared to the Huawei Mate 20 Pro. It's a lot more detailed. Now again, this is a very tough shot. Same thing right here. This is a super dark kitchen. Huawei Mate 20 Pro just has a lot more detail than the Honor Magic 2. So now let's look at some video. So this is a 4K video shot at 30 frames per second. So you notice that the Honor Magic 2's image is just more cropped in because the focal length, it's closer. So this is 4K 30. Okay, 4K 30. So in terms of video, the Honor Magic 2 actually holds up. I don't think there's not much difference. There's slightly more micro jitter on the Honor Magic footage, but you get micro jitter on the Huawei Mate 20 Pro anyway. Huawei Mate 20 Pro is just not a strong video camera. So we'll look at 1080p 60. So again, both of these are very similar. So I think that's very interesting that in still photography, the Huawei Mate 20 Pro is clearly superior, but in video, it really closes the gap. So now having said all that, you might think this video has an easy conclusion because the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, it's clearly a better phone. The camera is just a lot better in challenging situations. And on top of that, you have IP68 water and dust resistant, you have wireless charging and all that. But it's not so simple because as mentioned, the Huawei Mate 20 Pro is $400 or $500 more expensive than the Honor Magic 2. So when you consider all that, I think the Honor Magic 2 might be a better purchase for most people. Now, for someone like me, I'm a heavy user, I'm a power user, I'm a geek. I'm someone who really likes taking photos at night and always posts on Instagram, like, you know, really night shots in Japan, night shots in Europe, all that. For me, I need something like a Huawei Mate 20 Pro. But for most other people, I think they might be better off buying the Honor Magic 2 because $400 to $500 is a lot of money. Now, if you don't care about that saving, let's say you make a lot of money or you're just someone that likes to splurge, like to you saving $400 is not a big deal, then by all means get the Mate 20 Pro. But if saving money matters to you, then I think the Honor Magic 2, it's a better purchase. They are very, very similar phones other than the camera. So that's it for now. I'm gonna have more videos coming this week. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, if it was helpful in helping you make a purchase decision, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. Thanks.